Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. It's Tamari, the AstroFashionista. For all of you that don't know, I'm a professional astrologer. I've been studying astrology for over 14 years now. I have a business, AstroFashionista LLC, where I help people navigate their lives using ancient astrology, also other new age tools, numerology. I'm also a certified Reiki practitioner. I use tarot cards, oracle cards, pendulums. I do it all. So I really want to go over the 12 zodiac signs in today's video. And I'm a Western astrologer. I know there's all types of different forms of astrology. There's Chinese astrology, there's Vedic astrology. I am a Western astrologer, even though I dabble in learning about all forms of astrology. So I want to go through the 12 zodiac signs. I'm going to do more videos in depth about everything astrology, from love to business. But today, let's just start with all of the basics. Okay. The last sign of the zodiac is Pisces. Okay, so Pisces, the 12th sign, it's a water sign. Those people born under the sign of Pisces is born like around March 21st. See, I did this wrong on my website. Pisces is like February 21st to like March 21st or something around them. Water sign, again, water signs are intuitive, they're feelers, they're emotional. Pisces traditional ruler is Jupiter, just like Sagittarius, but the modern ruler is Neptune. And it's symbolized by two fishes swimming in opposite directions. Its opposite sign is Virgo. The lucky day is Friday. Pisces, in one word, I would say, is mutable, and it is a mutable sign. And again, the mutable signs are we talked about them already: Virgo, Sagittarius, and Gemini. So Pisces is the last mutable sign, which means it's flexible. Body parts that Pisces rules is typically the feet. And famous Pisces are Steve Jobs, Kurt Cobain, Drew Barrymore, Johnny Cash, Rihanna, Nat King Cole, Cindy Crawford, Albert Einstein, Elizabeth Taylor, Kelsey Grammer, Jennifer Love Hewitt, John Bon Jovi, Spike Lee, Michelangelo, Dr. Seuss, George Washington, and Bruce Willis. So Pisces is, so there's some astrology books that will say Pisces is a representation of all the energy of all 12 signs. I don't know if I necessarily would say that. I would just say that because Pisces is represented by two fishes, so it has duality just like Gemini. It's a mutable sign, so it's flexible. It's a water sign, so it's also intuitive, and water is, you know, it's ever flowing and never stops. So those three things to me categorize Pisces as a sign that just is never going to be one thing. It's just a shapeshifter. It's always changing directions, moods, feelings, because it's water, and it's thinking one thing, it's around one person, it feels a certain way, it's around another person, it feels another way. So much like Geminis, I feel like Pisces get maybe sometimes categorized as like two-faced or not having like a backbone, but that's not it. It's just, they're just flexible people who take on the energy of people that are around, more so than the other two water signs, I would say. It's very important for Pisces to surround themselves with people that are good for their well-being, because they are so susceptible to other people's energy that they will take that on. So if they get caught up in the wrong crowd, that can be to their detriment. It's also very important for Pisces to stay away from like substance abuse. Because Neptune is their modern ruler and Jupiter is a traditional ruler. And remember, Jupiter expands everything. It makes things like grand. So more and more of drugs and alcohol is like, that's detrimental, right? And Neptune is a planet that is in your chart. It's all about illusion and disillusionment and blurred lines and dreams. So it's almost like Pisces are they're dreamers. So any like thing that kind of makes them not in touch with reality is not always so good for them because they already have their heads in the clouds because they're so creative. It's such a creative sign that when you're adding something like substance abuse, it can kind of be a recipe for disaster. And this can be seen with like Kurt Cobain, died from a drug overdose. I'm not saying every Pisces, but that's just like an example. So again, Pisces creativity. So Pisces rules the 12th house, and the 12th house in astrology, it's like the most misunderstood house. It's all about your subconscious. It's about isolation. It's about things that are hidden. And because of that, Pisces are very good at, like, again, like how Scorpio can get to the bottom of things, all the water signs can. Pisces can too. They're very, very psychic. The 12th house also rules dreams. A lot of Pisces have very vivid dreams. They're good at like seeing things, and they just have like an intuitive spirit about them. What else can I say about Pisces? Because they are so creative and because they are so mutable and changeable, it's kind of hard, like Gemini, for them to direct their energy sometimes, because like they have these big grand schemes in their head, but if they don't have something that grounds them in their chart, like they don't have like a Taurus moon, or maybe they're Capricorn on their 10th house, I don't know, something, they find it hard sometimes to direct energy to make something long lasting. But when they do, they can create the most grand things. And Steve Jobs is a brilliant example. I love using him as an example of a Pisces that really created something long lasting. Like him or love him, or love him or hate him. You know, he created Apple, and he created this whole like lifestyle, and he's not even here anymore, and his legacy is going to move on. He really revolutionized technology. So that's an example. Albert Einstein, another brilliant individual. So they can be really, really like successful when they know how to direct that creativity. What else can I say about Pisces? In love, I would say Pisces is a very romantic sign. They're the ones that like will like appreciate a poem, or they'll write you a poem, or they'll like a picnic. They don't like hard boundaries. So like they're like go with the flow. Like if you call them up like, hey, you want to go here? Sure, let's go. Why not? And they'll like go with you, and like you guys can spend all day out and go shoot the shit and go to the museum and go to the park. And next thing you know, it's like midnight. Like they really are like a go with the flow type person. So like if you want something to do and you don't have someone to go with you, like, and they're free, like that's like a great person to have like as like a friend or just acquaintance to go around with, is a Pisces. I would say they're kind of conflict averse from what I've seen. They're not like a Scorpio that kind of almost likes fighting because it has that Martian energy. Pisces is more like skittish. Like they're not going to always be direct with you. They're moody, but not in a Cancer way and not in a Scorpio way. It's almost like when they are done or they don't want to be around someone, they might just ghost you because they don't feel like dealing with it. Like they don't want to hurt your feelings. They're not really bad people. They're not malicious. So like if they're tired of you, you just probably just won't hear from them anymore. What else? They can be a little wishy-washy. Again, that's that mutable energy, like feel one way one day and then feel different the next day. But that's just the nature of dating a Pisces. But overall, they're like fun people. Like I think like the world needs Pisces. They're very, not a humanitarian in like an Aquarius way, but they're like they have, and not a big heart in a Leo way. It's more of like a compassion. Compassion is the perfect word. They're compassionate. They're the people that will understand, like even if you're like annoyed by some bad, tragic thing that happened, like some person in the media, like they might find, but then this person grew up this way and did it. Like they might make the concessions for that person just because they understand. They're compassionate. So yeah, that's Pisces.